What is power? In our world, we think of it as strength or influence or control. We see it in the forces of nature, like a hurricane or an earthquake. We see it in the leaders who shape our nations. But in the story of faith, particularly in Christianity, power takes on a different meaning. It is not just about worldly strength. It is a divine force, a spiritual energy that flows from the ultimate source of all creation. It is the power to heal, to inspire, to perform miracles, and to overcome the very boundaries of life and death itself. This power is not the same for everyone in the spiritual story. We can think of this divine power like a vast ladder, stretching from the earth all the way to the heavens, far beyond what our eyes can see. On each rung of this ladder we find figures of great importance and reverence: the saints, the apostles, Jesus, and finally God the Creator. Each one holds a measure of this incredible power. Understanding the differences in their power helps us understand the structure of this faith. It shows us a universe filled with spiritual energy, but one where all that energy flows from a single ultimate wellspring. It's a journey of numbers from the very large to the truly infinite. To help us grasp these immense differences, we can use the language of numbers. Our minds can handle big numbers like 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000. But the numbers we need for this journey are far, far larger. We will use a special kind of number called a power tower. Imagine a number like 10 raised to the power of 10. That's a 1 with 10 zeros after it. Now imagine raising 10 to the power of that huge number. The result becomes almost too big to write. This is the kind of scale we must use to even begin to imagine the power we are talking about. This exploration is not just an exercise in mathematics. It is a way to appreciate the deep respect and order within the Christian faith. It helps to explain why prayer and worship are directed in specific ways. It paints a picture of a universe where goodness and power are connected, growing stronger and more absolute as we get closer to the source of all things. So let us begin our climb up this ladder of power, starting with those holy individuals who lived lives of extraordinary faith and were granted a measure of God's grace to share with the world around them. We begin with the saints. These are men and women whose lives were so filled with faith that they became channels for divine power. The stories of the saints are filled with miracles. They healed the sick, they protected the weak, and their prayers were said to have incredible strength. To put a number to this power, let's imagine something vast. Think of the number 10 raised to the power of 10, which is 10 billion. Now imagine raising 10 to that power, and doing it again, 245 times. This creates a number so large that if you tried to write it down, it would fill countless universes. This number represents the power of a saint. This power is truly immense, far beyond anything a normal human could ever possess. It is the power to defy the laws of nature as we know them. It is the kind of power that can make a blind person see or turn a small amount of food into a feast for many. The saints are seen as heroes of the faith, their connection to God so strong that His power worked through them in amazing ways. Their stories have inspired people for centuries, showing that great faith can lead to great works. They are a testament to how the divine can touch the mortal world and change it. Now let's look at the apostles. These were the 12 men chosen directly by Jesus. They walked with Him, learned from Him, and were given a special authority. Their power was even greater than that of the saints. They were given the ability to cast out demons, raise the dead, and establish the very foundations of the church. Their connection to the source was more direct, more potent. This is why their words and actions carry such weight in the New Testament. They were the first messengers, entrusted with a power that would change the course of human history and spread a new message across the entire world. To measure their power, we can use our number tower again. Let's start with 10 raised to the power of 10. But for the apostles, we raise 10 to that power not 245 times but 212 times. You might think this is a smaller number, but it is not. The height of the tower is smaller, but the base value is much larger, resulting in a number that is incomprehensibly bigger than the power of the saints. The difference between their power and a saint's power is like the difference between a single star and an entire galaxy. It is a leap to a whole new level of divine authority and might. As we climb higher, we reach a level of power that leaves everything else far behind. We arrive at Jesus Christ. The Bible describes Him not just as a man with great power, but as the Son of God. His power was not just a gift given to Him, it was part of His very being. He commanded the wind and the waves to be still. He healed people with just a touch or a word. He raised Lazarus from the dead after 4 days. The miracles of Jesus were on a scale that showed a complete mastery over the natural world. He demonstrated a power that was truly awesome. If we were to try and measure this power before his resurrection, we would need a number that dwarfs all the others. Let's take our number 10 and raise it to the power of 10. Now let's build a tower of these powers 1 million levels high. This number, 10 to the 10th to the 10th, 1 million times, is so vast that our minds cannot even begin to form a picture of it. It is a number so long that the known universe is not big enough to write it down. This represents the power Jesus held during his time on earth, a power that was already beyond all human comprehension and far greater than any saint or apostle. But the story of Jesus' power does not end there. It reaches its ultimate peak with his resurrection. This was the final greatest act of power. By conquering death itself, Jesus broke the final limit. His power became something new, something that numbers can no longer describe. We can call this concept terminusfinity. It is a state of power beyond all limits, a kind of infinity that contains all other big numbers within it. It is the power to give eternal life, to forgive all sins, and to hold authority over all of heaven and earth. It is a power that is absolute and complete. This resurrected power is central to the Christian faith. It is the promise of hope and new life. It means that no force, not even death, is stronger than the power of Jesus. This is why he is seen not just as a great teacher or prophet, but as a divine savior. His power is the bridge between humanity and God, the ultimate victory over darkness and despair. The power of terminusfinity is the power of salvation, a force so great that it can transform a person's soul and offer them a place in eternity. It is a power that is active and present in the world today. We have climbed a ladder of almost unimaginable numbers, from the mighty power of the saints to the limitless power of the resurrected Jesus. But there is one final step to take. There is one power that stands above all others, a power so total and absolute that it makes even terminusfinity seem small. This is the power of God the Creator, often referred to as Yahweh in the Old Testament. This is not just power over creation, it is the power of creation itself. It is the power that existed before time, before space, before anything was. God's power is what brought the universe into existence from nothing. He spoke, and light appeared. He thought, and the stars were formed. This is a level of power that does not operate within the rules of reality. It creates the rules of reality. To try and capture this with a number is impossible. So, we must use a concept. We can call it the end of all numbers, or Tion. It is a concept that represents a power so final and ultimate that no number, no infinity, no concept of more can ever be added to it. It is the source from which all other power flows, including the very power of Jesus. The Bible makes this distinction clear. Even Jesus, in his moments of prayer, looks to God the Father. He says that his power comes from the Father. This shows a relationship of perfect unity, but also one of order. The power of Jesus' resurrection, terminusfinity, is the greatest power within creation, but God's power, Tion, is the power of creation. It is the difference between being the strongest person in the universe and being the one who imagined and built the universe itself. God's power is the final answer to every question of what is stronger. This understanding is the foundation of Christian belief. The trust and faith of a Christian are ultimately placed in God the Creator. His power is the ultimate guarantee. It means that nothing is impossible. It means that the source of all goodness, love, and life is also the source of all power. The incredible powers of the saints, the apostles, and even Jesus all point back to this one singular source. It is a power that is both terrifying in its immensity and comforting in its purpose, for it is the power of a Creator who, according to the faith, loves his creation.